Okay, welcome to worksheet 33. So this is our first kind of practice round at using some of these participles. So if you haven't done worksheet 32, please make sure that you go back. I've had everyone in class now, so everyone's gotten the first go at how these participles work. So if you are still needing a little bit more practice, obviously make sure that you take a look at worksheet 32, go back through our slides, and of course come and find me if you need a little extra help. So these noun adjective pairs for this first page here, pretty straightforward. Nouns are just nouns, so poeta, poetai, right? That noun is first declension because that noun is first declension. Poeta, poetai, poetai, poetam, poeta. Zoom in a little bit for you guys. There we go. Poetai, poetarum, poetis, poetas, poetis. Okay, so noun is the noun. For these participles, you have to read carefully, right? I'm not going to tell you, hey, make this participle. I'm going to give you the English. So you're going to decline the singing poet. So you need to know how to take this verb kano and change it to the form singing. The ing participle is the present participle, the present. And I'm going to make that nt noise because remember we're going to take that re off and we're going to replace it with ns. So poeta canes. The genitive, anything that's ens in Latin, the genitive is entis. So canes in the nominative, canentis in the genitive. Now we're just going to go down our third declension adjective pattern. Canes, canentis, canenti, canentem. And then the ablative singular could be canenti, could be canenta. Could be either one. I'm just going to go with the straight adjective form for these. For the plural, canentes, canentium, canentibus, canentes, and canentibus. Okay? Do not lose that nt, right? You have to have that nt in all those forms. Canentis, canenti, canentem. That's the ing. Okay? The second pair here, the lost sister. So we'll just get the noun out of the way. The noun is soror, sororis. So it's third declension. Soror e, soror m, soror e. And then in the plural, sorores, sororum, sororibus, sorores, sororibus. Now, it asks you to decline the lost sister. So you need to know which participle is lost, right? Not losing. She's not a sister who's losing something. She's a sister who's been lost. So that's perfect passive. And to get the perfect passive anything, we look to the fourth principal part. Fourth principal part, amisos. But because we're dealing with feminine sister, it is not amisos, it's amisa. So remember with that fourth principal part, you do need to consider the gender. So the endings for this fourth principal part are just first and second declension. So amisa, amisai, amisai, amisam, and amisa. Because it's feminine, we use the first declension endings. Amisa, amisai, amisai, amisam, amisa. Amisai, amisarum, amisis, amisas, and amisis. So again, step by step, think about which participle you need. This one is perfect passive, fourth principal part. Gender matters for that fourth principal part, so make sure you pick the right gender, and then just use your correct declension endings. Emails. Oh boy. The next one is the scene deer. So let's just start with the deer. We're going with lady deer, doe a deer, a female deer. Kerwa, kerwai. So first declension. Kerwa, kerwai. Oops. Kerwai, kerwam, kerwa, kerwai, kerwarum, kerwis, kerwas, and kerwis. Okay, no trouble there. This is the seen deer. This is not a seeing deer. This is a deer that's been seen. So we need to take that fourth principal part, wisus, and we need to think about the gender of kerwa. So it's going to be wisa. First declension noun, first declension participle. Hey, wisa, wisai, wisai, wisam, and wisa. In the plural, wisai, wisarum, wisis, wisas, and wisis. Don't sleep on first declension. Right? Sometimes that's what you need. Okay? And then our last one here is the happening journey, the journey that is happening, that is ongoing. So our noun here is iter, itineris, right? Be careful with that stem. Third declension, itinerary, but it is a neuter noun. So the accusative of iter, we're back to iter. The ablative singular, itinere. So we go back to our stem, itinere. Itinera would be my nominative plural because it is neuter. We don't use ace, we use a. Itinerum, itineribus, itinera, and itineribus. It's a tricky word because the stem is much longer than the nominative, so just don't lose that stem. This is a journey that is happening, so we need our ing participle, which means we're going to our second principal part, akido, akidere. So we get akidanes. The genitive of ns, akidentis. So there's another one of those English words when you say, I'm sorry, it just happened. It was an accident, right? Akidenti, akidanes, because it's neuter, right? Iter is neuter, so the nominative and the accusative need to be the same. And then akidenti could also be akidenta, depending on the situation. Akidentia, akidentium, akidentibus, akidentia, akidentibus. So the word there is accident, right? Just with our third declension endings. So that stem always has the nt in it. And those are our 4 noun adjective pairs here. So again, singing, poet, so cananes, canentis. Lost, sister, so that's perfect passive, amisa, because it's feminine. Seen, deer, that's perfect passive, so we saw, because it's feminine. And happening, ing, akidanes, akidentis. This section here doesn't really have anything to do with participles. I just wanted to get you guys practicing your third declension endings again. So huge mountain in the nominative singular. A mountain is a mons. And the word for huge is ingains. Gifts in the nominative plural. A gift is a donum. So the nominative plural would be dona. It is a neuter word. Heavy. The word for heavy is grawis. Grawis, grawe. So the nominative plural would be grawia. Just remember those those extra I forms. Fast horses in the accusative plural. A horse is an equus. So the accusative plural would be equos. The word for fast is keller. Kelleris, kellera. So keller ace, because it is a third declension word. The daring fisherman. A fisherman is a piscator. So the genitive singular would be piscatoris. Anything that's tor becomes taurus. And then daring is audax. The genitive singular is audacus. And the faithful warriors. A warrior is a bellator. So genitive plural, bellatorum, third declension, bellator, bellatoris. And faithful is fidelis, so fidelium, to make it genitive plural. So that's more of a review of vocabulary and a review of your third declension endings than anything, right? I did that because when you're doing these participles, you're going to have to use those endings again. So let's take a look at what we're doing here. We have these participle kind of phrases, these little chunks here. And so we're going to keep them nominative, keep things simple. So the soldier is a miles, walking, ambulans, and to town is ad opidum. And we put that extra business in the middle to kind of create this nice, neat little package. So for number 2 here, the noun for a pig, Mogelians, rejoice, that is a porcus. The pig is eating, it's an eating pig. The word for eat is eddo, edera. So that eating pig is edanes. He's a porcus edanes. He's an eating pig. And what he's eating is food. So we take the food, we put it in the middle. Now, why is kibum in the accusative? Because it's the direct object. He's eating food. So all those rules of grammar are still going to apply. The eating food pig, or the pig eating food, food is still the thing being eaten, so it has to be in the accusative case, because it's the direct object. The queen, she is the regina. She's described as captured, so she's the captured queen. That's a fourth principal part, capio, capere, capi, captus. So we make it capta to agree with her. Regina capta. And she was captured today. The word for today is hodie. And again, we put it in the middle to kind of create this nice, neat little package. Number 4, the bridge, which is a pons. That bridge is described as a defended bridge, a bridge that's been defended. So that's perfect passive. Defendo, defendere, defendi, defensus. So the pons, defensus. That is a defended bridge. But it's a bridge that's been defended by us. So to include the by us in there, we use a nobis. just like we did when we were doing passive verbs, a me, a te, a nobis, a vobis. We can use those here as well. And then finally, the cities, so now it's in the plural, urbes, seen, right? That's a perfect passive, right? The cities are not doing something, they've been seen. So we need fourth principal part, video, videre, vidi, visus, but we're going to make it visai because they are feminine and plural. And they are the cities that have been seen by the men, viris. So you create these clusters of words where you start with the noun, you end with the participle, and any of that extra information you put in the middle. And we're going to do a lot of practice with these in the weeks to come. So this is only our first crack at it. And we end here with a verb synopsis. Okay, we're going to keep seeing these just to keep our verb forms handy. Cognosco, cognoscere, so that's third conjugation. Second plural means tis and mini, right? So our present forms, cognoscitis, right? We have the I in there because it's a little e. Cognoscitis and cognoscimini. Cognoscebatis and cognoscebamini. And then we can't use bobi boo because it's a third conjugation verb, so we just use the e. Cognoscetis and cognoscemini. So we have the I in the present, we have the e in the future. Perfect active. We're going to use our third principal part, cognoi. So we're going to get cognovistis. We're going to go down the chart. Cognoveratis and cognoveritis. So istis, eratis, eritis. And then over on the passive side, we have plural and feminine. So cognotus becomes cognotai, feminine and plural. Estis, cognotai, eratis, cognotai, eritis. So remember, we kind of divvy this thing up, right? You don't have to do this highlighting, but, oops, wrong color. We talked about these, oops, let's try that again. Talked about those guys being our greens, right? These guys being our blues, and these guys being our purples, our pinks, whatever color that shows up as, because these principal parts are for these guys, these principal parts for these guys, and this guy. There you go. Right? That's kind of the breakdown of how it works. The imperatives come from this one. So we have cognosca and cognoscita. Because it's third conjugation, we have that little e becoming ite in the plural. And look what we have here. We have a couple of new boxes. So we have our participles as well. So our present active participle, we're going to also make it plural and feminine. So if you make the participle cognoscanes, right, that's your NS, you're sort of there, but instead what I want you to do is also make it feminine and plural, so cognoscentes. So what I actually want to see is just cognoscentes. I just want to see the feminine plural form. And then over here, perfect passive, fourth principal part, we're just going to use that cognoti one more time. And that's pretty much how it shakes out. Now again, first week of participles, no one should expect to be an expert. We are going to keep on practicing with these things. This is just the first draft. We're going to spend class time Thursday, Friday going over these sentences, doing more practice like these sentences. So I want you to at least try. Then you've got the worksheet to fall back on for corrections, and we also have class time. Okay? All right, folks, I will see you in class tomorrow. Take it easy.